विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्यादिशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण शिवासादि कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गोविंद राधे जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन। Prabhupada ki. Hello, can you please present the Mangalacharan? Yeah. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaः। Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamala Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्याय नामिने गौरते नमः। Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Namaami Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Asadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare मंगलाचरण की जाए. So Hare Krishna, a very good morning to all of you. I welcome you to this fourth session of this course, Life's Amazing Secret. Okay, so today's topic we have Vedic wisdom. Okay, so any questions so far on the first three sessions? Anybody has? Then we can take up those questions first. So we started the first session with Akshay Prabhu presenting, the relevance of Bhagavad Gita in today's time, right? So after that, we in the last Sunday session, we saw, at a summary level, what is Bhagavad Gita. We picked up some of the important shlokas from Bhagavad Gita, and then we discussed around those shlokas. And I think yesterday, Akshay Prabhu would have taken the third session, which was about the science of soul, which is the most important session, which is the basis of this whole self-realization. As we saw in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that the first knowledge which Lord Krishna gives to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra is this knowledge of soul, right? So that is a knowledge which is missing today in all our educational system, and that is basically misdirecting actually most of us, because we wrongly identify ourselves as this body and all the designations which are coming with this body. We forget that we are eternal part and parcel of Lord, okay, as given in Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, right? Mamayvamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Lord Krishna is saying that everybody is my part and parcel. So when we are part and parcel of Lord, we are also divine. We also possess divine qualities. But because we forget our true identity as the spirit soul and consider ourselves as the body, that's why basically then we get into all these misconceptions, and then all the anarthas or the bad qualities crop up in our life. Okay, so that was like, I think the third session was completely covering the soul part, how we as a body, we are having a body, gross body as well as subtle body, and we as a soul are engaged in these two types of body. So any questions on that? Nilesh Prabhu, should we how do we go? Should we just revise 5-10 minutes the previous session, or you already did some part of it? Okay, so we'll just do a quick 5 minutes revision. Maybe some of the key points which were covered, just for refreshing. So last session, Prabhuji would have covered various reasons, right? That how we can believe that we are not this body, but we are soul. So there are various things. One is this first common sense understanding, where whenever we talk, we say that somebody has passed away. Guzar gaye. But the body is there completely, right? So we know that the person, the soul which was there in that body has passed away, while the body, from the tip of the hair to the toe, nail, everything is there. But we say, Guzar gaye, he passed away. So we know that that person has passed away. Okay, and we also saw that 13th shloka of second chapter, where Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. So we see even in our life how our body keeps changing from childhood to youth to old age, right? So this is another, common sense understanding of how the body is continuously changing. Then there was an intuitive understanding where we always talk about my hand, my face, my body. Hmm? We never say I body, I hand. I am not this hand. This is my hand. This is my body. These are my eyes. So who is this my? So this is what is an intuitive understanding always when we talk about. Okay. Then the third is that there is a when the soul is there and matter is there. The matter does not have that feeling, willing. Okay, but the soul has. Okay, so Prabhuji, you might have taken the example of a drama being watched by a camera, right? Recording. So camera will not have those emotions, but the person who is watching, the judges who are watching, they will have those emotions. So that feeling and willing is a symptom of consciousness. Okay. And then the fourth is near-death experiences and out-of-body experiences. So if you do a Google, you will find so many case studies around this near-death experiences or out-of-body experiences. And all these experiences basically do suggest that, scientifically it proves that, yes, the soul is different than the body. Because when somebody is operated critically and he's in anesthesia and medically, he should not be seeing anything, but that person comes out of his body and sees what is being operated, what the doctors were saying, and he exactly when he comes back to consciousness, he repeats that this is what the doctor also were telling. So that was the fourth proof, and the fifth proof was about the reincarnation, punarjanma. So there are so many case studies around that. Dr. Ian Stevenson. So he has compiled all those reincarnation cases. So yes, some of them were fake with a motive behind, some hidden motive around that, but many of them, not only in India but across the world, were found to be very authentic cases of reincarnations. So this concept has been now widely accepted around, that how there is a person, there is a life beyond this life. Okay, so this is very important. So that makes us very responsible, and then we can act accordingly. So these are some of the five things which Prabhuji would have discussed. And then also, as per Bhagavad Gita, we are actually these two coverings made of Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu Kham Mano Buddhi Revacha Ahankara Itiyam Me Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. So our gross body is made of Bhumi Apo Analo Vayu Kham, earth, water, air, ether and fire. Okay, and then we have a subtle body which is made of Man, Buddhi and Ahankar. And inside that, we as a soul who is Satchidananda. Sat means eternal, Chit means full of knowledge, and Ananda means full of bliss. So we are eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. Okay, but we are engaged into this body which is exactly the opposite. Asat, Achit and Niranand. So this is all incompatibility which is happening. Okay, so these are some of the points which Prabhuji would have covered. Any questions on all these points so far? Okay, fine. Then we'll start with today's session. Nilesh Prabhu, you are able to see my screen, right? Okay. So today's session is Vedic wisdom. Okay. So we will start with, understanding what are the different ways of gaining knowledge. Okay. So essentially, we will first start with a story about a 6 blind men, okay, and an elephant. So once there was an elephant and there were 6 blind men who came in contact with the elephant. There 6 blind men touched the different parts of the elephant, okay. Somebody was touching the trunk of the elephant, somebody was touching the legs, somebody was touching the body of the elephant. And when since they were blind and they never knew what an elephant looked like, they thought that when they were touching the, somebody who was touching the body of the elephant, he was thinking, oh my, this looks like a huge wall. Okay. Somebody who was touching the tail of the elephant, he was thinking, oh, it's like an rope. somebody who was touching the legs were thinking it's like a big trunk. Okay, so that way they were imagining based on their conceptions. So then they were fighting amongst each other because the one person was telling, I am touching the elephant, and the elephant is like a rope. The other person used to say, no, his elephant is not like a rope. It's like a tree trunk. No, it is not like a tree trunk. It is like a wall. So similarly, there was a fight going on. And then there is a wise person comes and he sees all these six people fighting amongst themselves. And then he says that, my dear friends, you are thinking that elephant is like this and like that, but all of you are incorrect. Because what you are doing is you are just touching a part of the elephant, okay, and you are not getting the complete picture about the elephant. So then he describes them that how the elephant looks like, and this is how it is. So this is exactly what happens in our life. Okay, we are also blind to spiritual knowledge. We don't have eyes to see the spiritual knowledge. Okay, and then we pick some part of that, and then we start concocting that, oh, this is going to be like that only. Okay, but when we approach a person who has this knowledge, who has this eyes of knowledge, jnana chakshusha, then he can actually describe to us what is an actual spirituality, what is God, what is our relationship. So all these things can get answered when we approach the right source. Okay, so we'll move ahead. There are three ways of understanding the super intelligence, who is a organizer, designer, and controller of this whole thing. Okay, so there are three ways of gaining knowledge. The first is the pratyaksha praman, which is seeing through direct sense perception. Okay, the second one is the anuman praman, which is theories based on perception. Okay, and the third one is shabda praman, which is hearing from bona fide authority. Okay, so we'll just see in brief about each of this thing. So pratyaksha praman means actually whatever senses we have got five senses. So we are trying to get a direct perception of that thing through our, and more focus is on the eyes. Okay, whatever we see, we believe that, okay, this is correct. So how does it work? We have here the knower and the object of knowledge, which is to be known. Now knower will have different senses. Okay, so using those different senses, he might use some additional instruments. Okay, and then there will be this process of acquiring knowledge. So this is how it works, right? All the knowledge which we gain, we try to achieve it through one of our senses, right? Okay, through touch, to smell, seeing, or taste. Okay, so different types of hearing. Okay, but as per shastras, we cannot understand the absolute truth through our blunt senses, because our senses have four defects or the four limitations. So what are those limitations? The first limitation is that our senses are imperfect. All of our senses are imperfect. We can only see a particular thing. We cannot see everything. Like in air, we cannot see. There are so many germs in the air, we cannot see. So our senses are really imperfect. We cannot hear everything. Dogs can hear much better than us. We cannot see. Eagles can see much better than us, right? So all of our senses are limited. And because our senses are limited, we get illusion. Many times we get illusion. So some of the illusions are like, somebody who is driving on a hot day on a road, on a highway. If you are driving, then what you see is, at a distance you will see that there is a water, a mirage you see. But when you go nearby, there is no water. So we feel illusion because of our limited senses. And when we get illusion, definitely we commit mistakes. And then there is an inherent propensity in each to cover up those mistakes. So there is a cheating propensity. So because of these four defects in our senses, we cannot basically understand the knowledge about the absolute truth through the blunt senses. Okay, so this is the first way of acquiring knowledge. Then the second is the Anuman Praman, which is theories based on evidences. What you are doing is you are doing some research and then you are allowing yourself to speculate that it may be like this or perhaps it was like that. So this is like a Anuman Lagana. But there also again you are just, first is your own conditioning, whatever circumstances you have gone through, your upbringing, everything, based on that you are then trying to allow your mind to make guesses. Okay, so that is another way which cannot again give us the knowledge about the absolute, because we are trying to speculate here. Hypothesis. And the third way of acquiring knowledge is hearing from a bona fide authority. Okay, so this is the third way, which is known as Shabda Praman. Okay, so Shabda Praman means hearing from the authority. So who is the authority? Okay, that is very important. So see, this whole creation, okay, is coming from God. So God is the most bona fide authority to talk about what is truth and what is not. Okay, so when God speaks, he is the most bona fide authority. So God has given this knowledge to, Brahmaji. There are different sampradayas. Okay, Brahmaji gave it to Narada, and then through disciplic succession, it has come to us. Like 50 years back, Srila Prabhupada founded this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and through him we are getting this knowledge through the Bhagavad Gita purports which he has written. Okay, so this is the most important way of acquiring knowledge, because this is the knowledge which is coming from the Supreme Lord. Now here we should not have any concocted, or there should not be any our own thoughts need not be added into that. We just need to repeat what Lord has spoken in Bhagavad Gita. That's why if you see, Prabhupada has named this Bhagavad Gita as Bhagavad Gita as it is, because it is how we should basically learn exactly what Krishna wants us to learn. So this is a Shabda Praman. So this is like how the creation has happened, and different, everything is given in Shastras. Okay. Now, most of the times we have not studied the Shastras. Okay. But when we try to delve into Shastras, then we start getting the answers to this creation and everything which is there. So here the picture of Mahavishnu is given. So we know about Vishnu, Brahma, Vishnu, Shivji, right? But we don't know there are three types of Vishnus only. There is a Mahavishnu, Karnodakshaya Vishnu, then Shirodakshaya Vishnu, and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Three types of Vishnus are there. Okay, so all this knowledge and how the creation is coming, that is all given in the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, first. Tene Brahma Hridaye Adi Kavaye. That how the Lord gave this knowledge, in the heart of Brahmaji, who is the first created being. And then Brahmaji is the secondary creator who created this whole complete material world on the instructions of Lord. Okay. So this Vedic wisdom came down in disciplic succession through oral reception. Okay, so we saw three types of, three ways in which we can acquire knowledge. Now we saw that Pratyaksha Praman is limited. Anuman Praman also has limitation, but Shabda Praman can give us the absolute knowledge because it is coming from the Supreme Lord. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we have to throw away the Pratyaksha Praman and Anuman Praman. Okay. So what we should do is we should have our foundation base on the Shabda Praman. And then Pratyaksha Praman and Anuman Praman can really help us ascertain what is being shared in the Shabda Praman. So Shabda Praman is something which is given in the scriptures. So that we should start with a foundation. That we should take it as a base foundation, and then we should build up Pratyaksha Praman and Anuman Praman on that. Nilesh Prabhu? Yes, I was thinking maybe you can present, maybe that will be better because I am not able to interact because I am sharing my screen. I cannot see anybody. So is it possible for you to share? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm able to see now. So you can go to the third session only. Yes, we'll just yes, Viraj. Yeah, so we were here. Yeah, the previous slide. Yeah. So any questions so far? Anybody? Okay. So Vedas, they are infallible wisdom. Okay. Because it is never changed, it is never disproved, and it has stood the test of time. Hmm? For five, like for example, Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,000 years. So still it is very relevant, and each and every of the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita is still same. There is no revision coming to Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so that is the never changed, and it has stood the test of time. Okay, we can move ahead, Nilesh Prabhu. Can you do a presentation mode, Nilesh Prabhu? Is it fine, possible? Yeah, this is better. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So basically, Vedas has lot of things. Okay. So it has so many branches and Puranas. Okay, and uh, Itihas and Shruti, Smriti. So many branches of Vedas are there. Okay, but how we can increase our faith on Vedas are through some of these examples given here, that there are Vedas has precisely predicted the birth of great personalities like Buddha, Chanakya, Ashoka. Okay, even even Christ and Muhammad, they are being predicted in the Bhavishya Puran. Okay, so these are some references given from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhavishya Puran. We can check, on our own. So this where, like I was just referring to Lord Buddha. So very explicitly it is mentioned, the mother's name, which place the Lord Buddha will appear. So all these details are very nicely predicted in the Vedas. Okay. Then there are. Can you move to the next slide? So there are undefeatable Vedic truths. Okay, like the first one, Vedas always state that plants have life, but earlier they used to say that no, plants don't have life. Then Jagdish Chandra Bose came and scientifically proved that yes, Vedas have life, and that's how they started now believing that yes, plants also have life. Then this description of human embryology. In Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, Lord Kapil Dev, when he is explaining to Mother Dehuti, explicit, he explains how the child grows in the womb of the mother. Okay, so whatever is given in the scripture matches exactly to what is the modern day medical research has been published with all these modern instruments which have come in. But Srimad Bhagavatam, it is written thousands of years ago. So all this knowledge was known thousands of years ago. Okay, then another example given here is that Vedas state that cow dung is pure. We use cow dung in all our, very like yagya kunds are being prepared with cow dung. Okay. Earlier days, even if you go to now, villages, they floor, all the floors are being, made from the cow dung. Even if there is some puja, they used to, sprinkle cow urine throughout the house, gomutra, right? So how this is like completely, considered very holy, and Vedas very clearly explained about the qualities of the mother cow's dung and urine. Okay, but in 1940, even scientists have found that yes, cow dung has antiseptic qualities. And then Vedas also give us various other things like, Vastu Shastra, Jyotish Shastra. There are so many branches of Vedas which are now, people are turning and getting, benefited out of those. So these are some of the aspects of Vedas which are like uh, of benefit in the today's world. Okay. Yes, Nilesh, we can move next. Yeah, can you move to the next slide, Prabhuji? Yeah, so this is what I was talking about, the tree of Vedic knowledge. Like you have Shruti, Smriti, Nyay, And then again under Shruti, you have various, four Vedas, Rig, Sam, Yajur, Atharva, Vedanga is there. Then there are so many branches. Okay. Under Nyaya again, there are different branches. So these are all the Vedas. Okay, which are there. Can you go to the next slide? In the presentation mode, is it taking some time to navigate to the next slide? Huh? Okay, fine. If you then you can remove it from presentation mode. I think it's taking quite some time. Yeah. So this is like, it is hundreds and billions of Sanskrit verses are there in the Vedas. Okay. But now, as we see, there is only merely 6% of the entire Vedic is still existing. Most of them have been lost over the influence of time. Okay, so very few of the Vedas we can find. But we don't have to feel discouraged, because whatever is there, there is, it is more than enough to perfect our life. Okay, even Vedas are coming from the absolute. So that's why even a part of Veda is also complete. So it is not that only when we read the complete everything in the Vedas, then only we become, we can get all the knowledge. No, even a part is complete. That is the beauty of the spirituality. That is the beauty of the absolute truth. That part is also complete. Okay, so now we have some exercises. So I would request you to please, pick your notepad or mobile, and then, we have a task here. So what you have to do is you have to make a list of different species that you know of for their special abilities. So example is given here. Eagle has a very good eyesight. So we need to find out the different species for their special abilities. And then also we need to write down what is the specialty of human species. So you have 3 minutes to do that. It's 12:14. Maybe we'll have 2-3 minutes and then we will start. Question is clear? So eagle has a very good eyesight. Okay. So similarly, you have to find out other species with special abilities and what is the specialty of human species. I think there is a challenge with this, Google Meet and all those things. Interaction can be only very limited. So I would request you to please unmute and share your thoughts, and please don't let it be monologue. You can participate as much as possible. Okay, that's okay. Means we all are just trying to explore. Yes, Nilesh Prabhu. Yeah. Right. Right. Or you can take couple of minutes and yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you like
Yeah.
dog is faithful, cheetah can run very fast.
Yes.
They have ability to understand and practice other
Correct.
species can have.
Correct. So you said dog has a special ability to sniff better than human beings, right? They have a sniffer. Yeah. Police carries the sniffer dogs. They can smell and then find out whom does this belong to. Okay. Then another one you said was cheetah.
Cheetah which can run very fast.
Very fast. We cannot run as fast as cheetah. Yes. Okay. Then others. Sham Prabhu. Nikhil.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
eagle can see very long way.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Eagle has a very good eyesight. It's flying at a very high distance. Still, it can, see its prey and then just come and pick it up. Yes.
Yes.
What else? Others? What answers others have noted down?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Shyam Prabhu. Yeah.
Prabhuji, I would like to tell about like humans as well as snakes. Snakes have the capability of they can't hear, but they actually have the capability of capturing sound waves. I mean, sound vibrations. As we speak, human there are always sound vibrations hitting on particular objects or something. Snakes have that capability, as well as humans have capability
Correct.
as
So
like
they have capabilities of.
yes, and human obviously like us, we have the capability of imagination, we have the capability of thinking, planning, etc. And
Okay.
vulture, a
Correct.
bird has the capability of seeing a dead prey. I mean, a dead animal having from a long distance, as well as the shark. Uh,
Correct. Correct.
if it's in the water, it has the capability of going through a speed through the sort of to its prey at a very high speed
Correct.
for from a long distance.
Yes. Correct. Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we'll discuss, all this. We'll take some few more examples and then discuss this in more detail after a few slides. So, Nilesh Prabhu, can you just move to the next slide? Yeah. So there is a beautiful shloka. We should all try to by heart this. Okay, which says that there are four activities which are common between both human beings and animals. Okay, so what are those four activities? It says ahara nidra bhay maithunam cha samanyam etat pashubhir naranam. Hmm? So ahara means eating. Hmm? So ahar, nidra, bhay, maithun. These are the four activities which are common between samanyam etat pashubhir naranam. Between pashu and nara. These are the four activities which are common. So what is the first activity, which is eating? Hmm? Eating is common between humans and animals. Animals also eat, we also eat. We might eat in a very sophisticated way with a fork and a knife and maybe in a five-star hotel. And animal might be just eating on a roadside. But essentially, what is happening is eating and we are satisfying our stomach. Okay, so the activity is same, ahar. Okay, then the next is the sleeping, nidra. So we are also sleeping and animals are also sleeping. We might be sleeping in a very luxurious water bed, and different types of beds have come. Okay, and animal might be sleeping just on a roadside or on a terrace. So they once somebody sleeps, he will not remember where he is sleeping, right? Hmm? So we sleep when we are very tired. We even doze off when we are sitting in a bus or on a railway platform. Okay. So third is the mating. Human beings also have offsprings, mating tendency, and animals also have the mating tendency. They also have offsprings. Okay, and the last one is the defending. Okay, where we also defend through different bombs and machine guns and so many uh, arms and ammunitions, while animals defend through their nails and teeth. So this is the different way, but essentially the principle is again that bhaya. So ahara nidra bhaya maithunam. So what we have to think is, what is the difference between animal and human being? Hmm? So this is what we should ponder on, that what is the difference. So like many of you have said, like Swati Mataji said that, cheetah can run fast. We cannot run as fast as cheetah. Dog can sniff better. Huh? Then Shyam Prabhu said that, snake, they can relate to the sound waves better than us. Okay. So we see that animals have special skills much superior to us. Hmm? So then what is the speciality of the humans? If animals are having better skills, then they are better. But we know that human beings are better. So what is the difference? Can somebody share some thoughts on this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Narek.
man can thought for future and remember of the past also.
Yeah, but even ants do plan for their future, right? If we see ants, so systematically, they will collect everything and put it in their house for the rainy season, and very nicely they will do very systematic. They will plan. So even ants have that skill of planning for the future. Okay. Even many birds also, if you see, they make very nice nest for the rainy season. They do plan for future. So what is the
Hare Krishna,
difference then?
Prabhu.
Yes.
Yes, humans have a capability of imagination, whereas animals are, as well as thinking. Humans have the capability of thinking, as I mentioned earlier, and animals, they live on their instincts. They don't. They have. If a lion has to hunt, if he feels hungry, it comes on its instinct and it goes and attacks. It's
Yes,
not like
very.
humans have the imagination
Hmm.
power as well as the
Hmm.
thinking.
I partially agree with your answer, Shamprabhu, because yes, that animals go with their instinct. But the imagination power, I think even they do have because, because I was just watching some of the beautiful nest which the birds have created. So
Yeah.
amazing, they create it so. I don't think we can create it that beautiful. They bring that grass straw and then make it view it so amazingly. It really requires an imagination of that kind of thing. But I agree with you that they do just act based on their instinct. That is very correct. Okay.
Okay.
And this is also like, if we think that the animals don't have intelligence, they do have intelligence. They are very intelligent actually. Like dogs, if you see, they can identify their masters very very well. Even if, okay, or the cat, if she has to come and drink milk in the kitchen, she will just hold on for everybody to go out of the kitchen, and then she will softly come, and without making any noise she will drink milk and go out. So they have amazing intelligence to know when to go, when to not go. So they do have intelligence, but again, what you said correctly, that their intelligence is used in the basic instincts. Like if they are hungry, they'll search for food. Okay, so that kind of intelligence is there. So here it is given, animals have rational power and intelligence, but they use it in the 4 habits of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. In fact, animals are better than human beings in most of the things. Like eating, we cannot eat like an elephant, right? We cannot sleep like a polar bear. Polar bear can sleep for months together. We can max sleep for 12, 14 hours, 16 hours. Then we have to get up. And then how many offsprings we can have? But mosquitoes, they reproduce like anything. So this is like how the animals are superior. Okay. So we'll go to the next part of that shloka which we saw in some time. Okay. So before that, we'll just see this, that Western countries have reached the summit of material advancement. Okay. Like we have luxurious homes. Okay. Yeah. And then we have skyscraper buildings. Okay. Then different methods of communication, jet planes, everything is there. Okay. Okay. But in spite of all these advancements which we have seen, okay, not only in the Western country, here it is given as America, but even now in India, we can see that in spite of all the advancement which we are doing, we are finding that people are very very dissatisfied. They are full of anxiety, stressed, and depressed, and above all, very very unhappy. So why this is so? This is because the technological advancement is nothing but doing the same 4 activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending in a very sophisticated way. So then we are doing the same activities in a sophisticated way. We cannot call it as a human civilization. At max, we can call it as a sophisticated animal civilization. So as per Shastra, this is not a human civilization. So where does the human civilization start. Okay. It starts with Athato Brahma Jignasa. So to live a meaningful life, we have to first of all make jignasa. Jignasa means to make inquiries. What kind of inquiries? The inquiries about who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with him? So Shastra says unless we make these inquiries, okay, we cannot come to the platform of human civilization. When we start making these inquiries, that is when actually we start at the human civilization. Okay, so we also that first shloka which we saw, okay, it says ahara nidra bhay maithunam cha samanyam etat pashubhir naranam dharmo hi tesho adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhir samana. So what is the difference between humans and animals? Dharmo hi tesho adhiko vishesho. It is saying dharma is the vishesh, and it is the distinguishing factor between human beings and animals. And dharmena hina, if somebody is dharma hina, then pashu bir samana. It's like a pashu. So that is what the shastras talk about. Now, what is dharma? That also we should understand from shastra only. We have different understanding of this dharma. We say, okay, this dharma, I belong to that dharma. They are all faiths. Okay, so faith is something which can be changed. People change their faith. Today they follow Christianity, they can turn to Hinduism, or they can turn vice versa. Okay, so that way the faith can be changed. But dharma is something which is very inherent. It cannot be separated from you. Okay, so as per Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, sixth shloka, what is the topmost dharma? Okay, so in Srimad Bhagavatam it is given that savai pumsa paro dharmo yato bhakti adokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So it says savai pumsa paro dharmo. Paro dharmo means topmost dharma. So what is the topmost dharma? Yato bhakti adokshaje. It is the bhakti to adokshaje. Adokshaje is the name of the Supreme Lord, Absolute Truth, Lord Krishna. Adokshaje, who is beyond our senses. So doing devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is our topmost dharma. And how that bhakti has to be? It has to be ahetuki apratihata. Ahetuki means unmotivated. There should not be any hetu. There should not be any business that I am going to the temple, I will get this in return, or Lord, give me promotion, give me this, I will give you 11 rupees prasad, 100 rupees prasad, as if Lord is short of that prasad. So Lord is not in need of anything, so that kind of business is not really satisfying the Lord. So the bhakti has to be ahetuki, without any motive. And apratihata. Apratihata means unbroken. It should not happen that, okay, aaj kiya, kal nahi kiya, whenever I feel like. Today I'm not feeling like doing bhakti. Apratihata means unbroken. It has to be continuous. Okay, then yayatma suprasiddhi. Then we can get the real satisfaction in our life. Okay, so this is what the Srimad Bhagavatam talks about, the real dharma. Okay, so here on this slide we can see that animals can only inquire about eating, sleeping, mating, and fearing only based on their instinct, while human beings can inquire about higher principles, life and death. Who am I? Where will I go? What is the purpose of this life? Okay, why I'm suffering? So all these questions only human beings can ask. Animals don't have that privilege of making such inquiries. So this we should understand, that this is the main difference between the animals and human beings. Okay. Yeah. So these are some of the inquiries which are given here. Okay. Where from did I come? Where will I go after death? We are all on a journey. So it is important to know, right, that where am I heading, right? And why I am suffering. Okay. So such kind of inquiries are important in the human form of life. Okay. Then based on the enquiries which we do in our life decides the future destination for us. Like in this human form of life, it is like a junction. So we can decide where we want to go. If we make the relevant enquiries and then align our life uh, according to Shastras, then we are promoted to higher lives. But if we just lead our life eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, then we lose this precious opportunity which has come in this form of human form of life. And then we might go back again to the animal kingdom or lower species. Okay, so this is a risk. So we have to decide. That kind of responsibility comes as a in the human life. Okay, so these are some of the inquiries, reasoning power to ask the following question: why I'm suffering, where do I go after this life? Okay, and then what is the destination, what is my destination. Okay. Now Shastra says that when we make inquiries, we have to make inquiries about the real problems of the life. Okay, there are so many things we can inquire about, right? What happened in IPL, what is happening in China, so many inquiries we can move, but that kind of inquiries are not going to help. So we have to inquire about the real problems of life. In human form of life, we should try to solve these real problems of life. Okay, so what are the real problems of life? Okay, we'll try to see. Okay, so we all want to remain young, right, forever. Hmm? But then we know that very soon we'll start growing old and our bodies will become weak and frail. Nobody wants to become old, but this is a fact. Everybody is going to become old. Okay. So next slide, Nilesh Prabhu. Okay. So there is a nice example given here of an Texas American millionaire, who spent millions of dollars in researching. He asked the scientists to, go and do research and find out, about the aging process and how we can stop it. And those all scientists took, millions of dollars from that American millionaire and did all the research. And then they came back and told him that, what, now we know exactly how this process of aging works. And he was very happy. He said, wow, very good, great research. But then he said that there is a small problem, that we know how this process of aging works, but we cannot do anything about it. So that kind of so what is the use? You can know how this process of aging works, and has somebody ever stopped somebody to become old? No. Have somebody stopped somebody from dying? No. Okay, so that problems are never solved. Okay, so here very nice song given by Shankaracharya, Bhaja Govindam. He says, what good is lust when youth has fled? What use is a lake which has no water? Do not boast of wealth, friend, and youth. Each one of this is destroyed within a minute. Chant the names of Govinda. Okay, so this is how the Shastras very clearly in black and white explains to us what is a reality. Okay, that whether we believe it or not, this is a fact. Okay, and this is a very common sense understanding that we can see in our own life very nicely. We can observe how our body is continuously changing. So this is again 13th shloka of second chapter is given here. Our body grows from childhood to boyhood to youth, to old age, eventually bringing about death, leaving only bones. Okay, can you go to the next slide, Nilesh Prabhu? Yeah, so again, disease, starvation, death, all these things. We want to remain healthy, but much against our wishes, we encounter various diseases. Okay. Pain, starvation, and death. Okay, finally. So all these things we come across in the life. So Bhagavad Gita talks about the real problems. Okay, what are the real problems is given in the 13th chapter. It says, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshana. There are 4 real problems in our life. What are those? Janma. Janma is birth. Mrityu is death. Jara is old age. And Vyadhi is diseases. So these are the 4 real problems of life which we should try to solve. Now, what are real problems? Real problems has 3 characteristics. First characteristics is, it is not that this problem only belongs to particular person. Real problem means it is common to all. Everybody has this problem and nobody wants it, and still everybody gets it. No one can avoid it. So as per Bhagavad Gita, it is said that one who can perceive birth, death, old age and disease as real problems is in knowledge. So this definition of knowledge we need to revisit, because what we feel is somebody who has done a PhD, he is in knowledge. Somebody who has done a double PhD is in knowledge. But Shastra says that one who perceives birth, death, old age and disease as real problems is in knowledge. So this is very important. So any questions so far? Everybody understood how these are 4 problems: birth, death, old age, disease? It's hard to get participation in this, online mode of discussion, right? Okay, I have a question if you don't have a question. Okay, we all know that death is a problem. We all know that old age is a problem, disease is a problem. How birth is a problem? With birth, we celebrate, right? We distribute sweets, and we have big celebration when birth takes place. So how birth is a problem described in Shastras?
Hare Krishna,
Any
Prabhuji.
thoughts?
I want to share regarding this.
Yes.
Like birth, before birth, when we are
Yeah,
in
please.
the womb, then at that time it is very difficult phase. So the child wants to come out of the womb, and at that time it prays to God that when I'll come out, I'll pray, I'll do bhakti. But after coming to this material world, they forget everything, and during that phase, it is called as a problem.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes. So this is very important. We need to understand this process of birth. So as we were discussing earlier in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, a very detailed description of this process of birth is explained. That we as a soul, take shelter in the womb of a mother. There's different kinds of mother. Now we are in human life. So we take shelter in the womb of a human mother, right? But then there are dog mothers, cat mothers. Okay. So then we take shelter there, and then we start developing our body there. And then what kind of condition is there in the womb of the mother? It is like completely pitch dark. It is like a sack, a plastic bag filled with fluid. And the child is floating in that fluid for how many? 9 hours, 9 days? No, 9 months. 9 months the child is there in the womb of the mother, in that very uncomfortable situation. There are so many worms which are biting the soft skin of the child, and it is in very, very miserable condition. Okay. And then it is intensely praying to the Lord that once he comes out of the womb of the mother, okay, he is not happy even that. He is still miserable. Very, very, every child which comes out of the womb of the mother is just crying miserably. Nobody understands what that child wants. Just crying. Then mother feels, oh, this child is hungry. That's why it is crying. It might be, he might be having some other pain, but he's not able to explain. Then he just passes urine, stool, and he's just lying in that urine and stool till mother comes and wipes up. He can just cry. So in this process, when the child is in the womb of the mother, and even after the birth, it is very, very miserable, at least for the first few years. Okay. So that's why Shastras very clearly explains that birth is also one of the real problems of life. Janma, Mrityu, Jara and Vyadhi. Okay. Thank you, Swadhyamata. Thank you for sharing. Okay, now somebody will say, okay, this birth I take at the start of my life, death when I will die, I will die. Diseases sometimes I have. Okay, old age also will come towards the end of my life. But what about in between? So if we observe our lives, then in between also this material nature doesn't allow us to be very happy. There is a constant tormentation by this three kleshas. Hmm? So the first klesh is adhyatmic klesh. Misery is due to our body and mind. Hmm? So some statistics are given here. There are teen suicide rates have tripled in the past 25 years. Hmm? 40% suffer from anxiety. Stress levels are going up, up, up. Records are just showing that crimes are growing. So why this is though? This is all because of miseries due to our body and mind. So many different diseases we get. Then even if we have no diseases, our mind will just keep troubling us so much. So this kind of clash is always there in our life. And even if adhyatmic clash is not there, somebody is just making his very life very peaceful, taking care of body and mind, then there will be adhibhautik clash. Adhibhautik means clash is due to the surrounding living entities nearby. Huh? We are driving right on the right side of the road, and somebody will come from the wrong side and then bang in our car or a vehicle. It's like terrible miseries. Or some terrorist will come, or a mosquito will come and bite, and then there will be dengue or a malaria, or some thief will come and steal away. Bed bugs will be there. We'll be sleeping, and somebody will come and just suck the blood out of our body. So that kind of kleshas are constantly being inflicted, okay, and by the other living entities, and that is known as adibhautika klesh. And then the third is a Adi-Daivik Klesh, which are miseries due to natural disasters, like severe cold, hot weather, thunderbolt, earthquakes, tornadoes. So many tsunamis are coming now. Huh? We have so many names around those tornadoes. So all these are Adi-Daivika Klesh. So these are called as the Trishul of Durga Devi. So Durga Devi is in charge of this material world, okay, and she has this trishul which she constantly keeps inflicting on the living entities, okay. So although we are advanced in medical science and have latest technology at our disposal, still our plans of good health and happiness are thwarted with newer and newer diseases. So much advancement we have done, but so many diseases are there. Earlier, there used to be one doctor who used to cater to multiple villages, and one village to other village, he had that privilege of going in a day. Now, every 10 steps, we have big hospitals, and they are all flourishing like anything. So, how advanced we are, right? So, yeah. There is another example given here about Muhammad Ali. He was a world heavyweight boxing champion. He declared, "I am the greatest." And after few years, he was suffering from Parkinson's disease, and he was not even able to lift a cup of coffee with his own hands. So how these sufferings are coming? Within few years, right? Somebody who declared that I am the greatest, and within no time, is not able to. So such we see even in the great personalities, they have to suffer from this problem. So can scientific advancement put a full stop to all these sufferings? That's the question we should contemplate. So it cannot. Okay. So what scientific advancement gives is just a stopgap solutions. Advancement in science and technology aims at reducing the miseries of man and providing comfort. A fan is there, a motor car. But then these solutions has their own problems, new types of problems coming. When you have bike or car, accident rates are increasing. So such kind of additional problems comes with this stopgap solutions. Okay. So science and technology cannot stop old age, cannot eradicate disease per se from the planet, and hardly has any understanding about life and death. So this four problems, they have no understanding basically. Okay. Fine. Can you just go to the next slide? Yes. So these are some temporary solutions like white hair, you apply a dye. So that kind of solutions are there. Okay. Yeah, we'll move ahead to the next slide. We are running short of time. Okay. So this also, like, it's like a fish out of water. No matter what you try to give it, that fish will never be happy, because the fish will be happy only when it is back in the water. Okay. So that kind of. Okay. So now this is important. What is the root cause of our problem? Now this is very, so an analogy is given here. A person had a boil on one hand. He goes to doctor and then doctor gives him a cream. He applies the cream on the hand and then that boil goes away. Okay. And then after some days the boil come on the another hand, and then again he goes to doctor and he says, okay, apply this. And then again he gets on the legs. He gets frustrated. What is this? Every now and then I'm getting this boil. Then he goes to the specialist, and then the specialist says that you need a blood purification needs to be done. So he gives him a blood purifier injection, and then he doesn't get any recurrence of the boil. So boil keeps recurring because of impurity in the blood. Similarly, all the sufferings which we get in our life is because of the tendency of breaking the laws of the God. And science will never be able to solve these problems. Okay. Fine. So the next slide, this slide everybody would have seen, right? We all travel in trains. So this is a photo from a train, okay, where people are sitting around. Okay. And then one station comes, somebody gets down. Another station comes, another person gets down. Right? This is what we see. Right? And do we make a big scene of this, that somebody is getting down? Because we know this, we are all in a train, and as the destination, somebody's destination comes, they will start getting down at their destination. Okay. And when our destination comes also, we also get down. Okay. Then what is this picture? Anybody can tell what is this picture?
Meat shop, Prabhuji.
Yes, it's a butcher shop. Correct. And then there is a goat which is there at the butcher shop.
Yeah, she
So
is
what is that
eating
goat thinking? It
grass.
is eating the green grass.
It is eating green grass and enjoying. She
Yes.
don't know after how much time she will get cut.
Correct, correct. And she is thinking that, good day, so much grass, I am so lucky. But we all know that that goat is not lucky, because it is just a matter of time that that butcher is going to cut that goat and put it like, here what we see, right? Huh? So how is it relevant in our lives? Okay, so we feel that the goat is very foolish, that it is eating grass and then just thinking. But if we contemplate, then in our life also, we are actually very busy eating the green grass, while we know that it is just a matter of time that, the death is awaiting us. Okay. So that green grass for us can be different things. Like for somebody, that green grass could be a big house, a big car, or a promotion, or a X amount in the bank. So these are all different green grasses which we are behind. Okay. So here the example is given. So we have to pause and we should think, we should put life in a proper perspective. Not that we should not earn, or not that we should not eat, not take care of our body. Okay. But just, earning money or just taking care of body is not the purpose of this human form of life. Okay. So here the comparison is given about the wise versus the fool. Okay. So the duty of every man is to make relevant inquiries about the life. Okay. So about the questions which we discussed already: who am I? Who is God? Okay. Then we also, what is the actual destination of life? So here example is given. that somebody is going very fast in a SUV, okay, and then another person is asking, sir, where are you going? And he's saying, don't disturb me, I want to go very fast. But he is heading towards a valley, he'll just fall down from there. Okay, so aimless, fast-paced rat race lifestyle, mindless of purpose, for which we were sent here, will only lead us to hell. So speed, more than speed, direction is important. Okay, so we should try to take direction from the Vedas, from the Vedic wisdom which is available, and then lead our life. Otherwise, we are just doing in a rat race. Okay. Okay, so here another nice example is given is, a child is there, okay, and if he doesn't know who is my father, how can he know? So there are two ways of knowing this, okay. The first way is an inductive way of gaining knowledge, where you go and experimentally keep checking the genes of each and every person on this planet. And if you follow that route, then in 800 years, you can find out a lot of 200 men, one of whom is likely to be the father of that child. Now, how useful this information is after 800 years? That child will not be there. What will be the use of that study? Okay. So, such kind of, inductive knowledge is not going to help. But there is another way, which is a deductive knowledge, where you just go and ask the mother, and she will tell who is the father, because mother is the authority. So that is a deductive knowledge. You don't have to spend so much energy and years in doing the research. Okay, and the deductive knowledge is, so similarly, Vedas are compared to our mother. If we want to know who is our father, supreme father, then Vedas can guide us to our supreme father, and this is known as a deductive knowledge. Okay, so this is almost the last part of our today's session, where the process of Vedic learning is explained. Okay, so this is similar to any other process of learning which we have come across, like some of us would have studied engineering or medical. Okay, so there are typically three things required to become an engineer or a doctor. Okay, the first one is you need to get admission into an authorized college. Now, what is an authorized college? Authorized college is some college which is accredited by a university, okay, recognized by a university, okay, government. That is an authorized college. And then you need authorized professors to teach the engineering or medical. And who are the authorized professors? They themselves are either engineers or doctors. Okay. And third, we need the authorized books to study our engineering and medical. Similarly, this Vedic process of learning also, we need authorized college, which is a sampradaya or parampara. So there are four authorized sampradayas. One is coming from Brahmaji, Brahma Madhav Sampradaya. Then second is coming from Lakshmi Ji, which is Shri Sampradaya, which is prominent in the south. Then from Lord Shiva, there is coming Rudra Sampradaya. And from Chatush Kumar, there is coming Kubar Sampradaya. So these four Sampradayas are basically authentic Sampradayas, through which we should get the knowledge about the Vedas. Okay. Then we should get it from authorized professors. Okay. So professors are somebody who has heard from his professor or his guru. He cannot be just a self-made guru, that is very dangerous. Like if we cannot go to a doctor who is a self-made doctor. He said, I have never studied under another doctor. I have just on my own, I have become a doctor. No. So similarly, guru has to be one who has taken knowledge from his guru. And more importantly, he should be an acharya. What is acharya? Acharya is somebody who is doing an acharan of what he's telling. Okay, so this acharan part is very important. Okay, otherwise somebody speaks like, okay, smoking is injurious to health, and then he goes out of the class and then leads a cigarette. So that is not acharya. He's speaking one thing but following something else. So a professor or the guru should be an acharya, and he should have heard from his guru. His guru should have heard from his guru. There has to be a disciplic succession. We should be able to trace out that, how this person got this knowledge. He took shelter of the another guru, got the knowledge from him. Okay, and then lastly, authorized books. So we see that Vedic text, like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Mahabharat, Ramayana. So all these are basically the authentic books. So Nilesh Prabhu is nicely here presenting the four sampradayas which are being given here. Okay, which we discuss: Rudra Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya. So this is given. So these are the four sampradayas. So when we are coming to when we want to learn uh, about the spirituality, then we should approach the authorized sampradaya. We should approach to a bona fide guru, and then we should refer to the authorized books. When we take care of these three things, then we can make progress in this learning of Vedic Vedas. Okay. Now, finally, I just want to take one shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Do you have Bhagavad Gita open in front of you, with you, Harish Prabhu? Yeah, just you can open the 15th chapter, 15th shloka. We will discuss that shloka and then we will end today's session. So 15th chapter, 15th shloka is the basically crux of the whole study which we do about the Vedas. The shloka says, Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smritirjnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarverahameva vedyo vedanta krit vedaviteva chaham. So what Lord is saying is, I am situated in everyone's heart. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto. I am situated in everyone's heart. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. He says, from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. And the next line is the most important line, which says, Vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo. He's saying, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. So this we should always remember. We might study the Vedas, we might by heart the Bhagavad Gita, so many scriptures we can read. But ultimately, we should never forget what is the purpose. The purpose, what we are trying to know, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if we know the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that means we are knowing all the Vedas. Okay. So this is very important. Vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. And then Lord goes ahead and says that indeed I am the compiler of Vedanta, Vedanta Krit. I am the compiler of Vedas and Veda Videva Chaham. I am the knower of the Vedas. So this is very, very important shloka, which I thought will be very important, that when we are on this journey of exploring, and understanding the Vedic, scriptures. Okay, so the ultimate goal of all this is not to really, get pumped up with all the knowledge which we have gained and think ourselves to be great scholars, but it is more to understand the Supreme Lord, understand our relationship with the Supreme Lord, understand that, okay, I am part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and as a part and parcel, it is my duty to serve the Supreme Lord and all his children. Okay, and that is how we can really make a tangible progress. And for that, we really need to come and take shelter of a bona fide guru. and under authorized scriptures, authorized guru, and authorized sampradaya, we can really understand this science of soul or the Vedic wisdom in our life. Okay. So thank you so much. If there are any question, comments, we can take it up. Anybody has any doubts? Any questions? Usually we cover this, these sessions in the classroom, okay, and they are usually meant to be very interactive sessions where a lot of group tasks are there, and then and talk. But because of this COVID situation, not able to have. Maybe soon we will have this classroom sessions also getting started, so that we can make it more effective. Okay. So fine, if you don't have questions, then maybe we can stop. You can come up with the questions even in the next. We still have 3 more sessions to go for this course. So whenever you have questions, you can ask in the subsequent sessions also, or even offline you can ask questions. You can pass all your questions to Nilesh Prabhu, and then he can take care. You can get those answers. Okay. Okay. Fine, Nilesh Prabhu. So we can stop here, right, Nilesh Prabhu? Okay, thank you. Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.